hammer from somewhere. Hammers have a new useful feature. Hammers can break locks, meaning locks that you usually have to break by using defeating a fortress. We're getting started here on Leslie Pro's side. We'll try and get the stream synced up as soon as we can, but you see that lock on Jveth's screen that you usually need some sort of you need to beat a fortress to unlock. As we're starting in 3-1, I think this is. But
it's one of those water stages.
I think this is 3-1 because I remember the hole at the bottom left. But you can use a hammer to break those locks, meaning you might not have to clear a fortress if you have a hammer.
Right. Typically, players when they use them, if you're going to skip 3 stages, is usually the optimal way to use one, but we'll might see other options as well.
And also, one last thing I failed to mention, where pipes lead on the overworld are randomized. So, you see that pipe behind that lock, it could... Well, I mean, I think this world, World 2, is the first world on the map. Also, speaking, this is an auto-scroller. Most auto-scrollers, I believe, taken out.
Right.
Like, not the levels themselves, but the auto-scrolling is gone. So it's going to be kind of weird seeing them played without the auto-scrolling.
Fortunately, both taking a death. Yeah, auto-scrollers have been disabled for all stages besides this one and one other stage. And from what I've gathered, it actually just breaks the stage. You can't complete it if the auto-scrollers have been removed, so that's why it remains.
Oh. But one other thing is, speaking of levels that have had stuff changed, there's also removed levels from the game. Lost levels are going to be in this.
Right. There are 8 lost levels. We see another aspect of variation is the enemies. Enemies within stages are shuffled around as well. Even though we're seeing the vanilla fire chomp here, this stage, sometimes an enemy won't spawn, making this for a bit of an easier stage, but unfortunately, default enemies here making it a bit trickier.
Yeah. Jveth's still kind of struggling with these platforms. Leslie Pro makes it, though. So that's nice.
And encounters the dreaded fortress.
That's one thing, is that there are types of levels that are randomized. So if you enter a fortress level, it's going to be a fortress, like every time.
Right. There are 3 pools of level randomization. You've got your standard levels, your 1 to the numbered levels. You've got your fortresses that are shuffled amongst each other, and then the airships are shuffled amongst each other.
I personally don't remember which fortress this is.
It's in World 7. Couldn't tell you which one, but it's on World 7, I believe.
I never got too far in this game. Many times I've played it, so I can name a lot of levels from, like, the beginning of the game to the first half of World 3.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't know all the levels. We'll try our best, and I'm sure chat will correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah.
But Leslie Pro able to make it through that fortress. That level, that can be really tricky, just based on the fire piranha plant placement. Can make for some tricky platformings with the dodging fireballs. And able to make it through, though. Meanwhile, we see Jveth playing the roulette game. Not really roulette, whatever that sliding matching card game is called.
Got 2 lives out of it, which is what he wanted.
Exactly, but unfortunately takes a death immediately here in the fortress.
And we saw Hammer. There were 2 Sledge Bros in that Hammer Bro on Leslie's side.
So the item you receive from Hammer Brothers is random. It could be anything. Mushroom. Players are typically looking for hammers and clouds.
Music boxes aren't the worst.
Yeah, music box can be used to put Hammer Brothers to sleep, allowing you to bypass them without playing them. They can also bypass the piranha stage or piranha plant stages in World 7. another stage from World 7, Leslie Pro's side. It's possible to clip through the front door, or above the front door in this stage, but it's a pretty tricky jump, and if you're not familiar with it, you may just play the level standardly is a word, in a standard fashion.
And Leslie Pro's not doing too bad on getting through this level.
Meanwhile, Jveth still working his way through this fortress.
Everyone in chat saying it's the second fortress in 7.
Okay. Ooh. Fireball.
Oh, and a game over, that's bad. That's gonna send him back to the start.
Yeah, he'll have to replay these first 2 stages again in order to get back to the fortress.
It looks like this time he's gonna go for the secret item down here.
Standard mushroom. Now, Leslie Pro has an option here between taking 4 or 5. Depending on the stage, may play it, may take an intentional death, depending on what it is, but you may see some route variation from between each player here, just since it's an option. And here we have, this is one of the lost levels you mentioned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's 8 lost levels in the stage. They're in the game's code.
I see it now.
So yeah, they're okay. So not really lost levels from Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels game. Yeah, I got confused the first time. It's like, oh, I don't want this option. There's an option in the random. Hey, add lost levels. I'm thinking, I'm not gonna sit there and play through all the lost levels from Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels. I don't want to play that at all. No. There's actually 8 stages. Nice pickup on the hammer there. Gonna hold on to that. There are 8 stages in the Super Mario Brothers 3 code that are in the game but cannot be accessed anywhere. But
through normal means.
Through normal means, of course. But the randomizer, that's different case.
I don't think this is normal.
It's from what we've gathered, it's a beta version of one of the stages of World 1.
I think that, I was gonna say 1.5.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for those. We'll point them out when the players come across them again, if they do.
If I recognize a level as not a level I recognize, I might point it out. I know this one's 1.6.
Yeah, with random enemies, players take the moving platform because you never know what's going to be, as you see right there, that Goomba falling from the sky. Able to make it through that stage. Meanwhile, Jveth continues conquest of Fortress 7 Fortress number 2.
The second 7 fortress.
That's the one.
The second fortress in World 7.
That's it.
That's the one. Cruise Coast Poison.
Some combination of those words, and it's the right.
Several combinations, you know. We had an airship. I don't know the airships. Oops.
No, neither do I. It's one of them. I do know this is Morton Koopaling with the ability to stun Mario, but only able to take it down really quickly. Koopa Kids, Koopalings, whatever you want to call them, normally have 3 hit points. With the randomizer, it's shuffled between 1 and 5 hit. Sometimes it's an easier fight. Sometimes it's going to be a bit more difficult. That time you have your standard. While Leslie was doing that, Jveth made it through the fortress.
Yep, Jveth is
all right
now in the second half of World 2.
Good to see that. So if he does happen to take an unfortunate game over, he'll be able to bypass that. Let's hope we don't see that. Commentator.
Leslie does have a hammer, so yeah, they're going to use the hammer and skip a few stages in World 4 here.
As Laurie mentioned earlier, the overworld pipes are shuffled. So at the beginning of World 4, you have 2 choices. Normally, if you go to the right, take you to the first level, but in this case, it takes you behind the fortress, leading and behind a lock. But using that hammer, able to bypass 3 stages.
I got a 404 on the tracker.
Uh-oh.
I fixed it, don't worry.
Okay, I was about to pull it up.
No. It was just kind of funny. Because as I mentioned, the world order is randomized. Like, you saw us start on the World 2 map and then go to the World 4 map, but we're still going to be playing through all 8 worlds here.
Right. On Leslie's screen, we have a hand stage. These are shuffled among the standard stages.
Yeah,
and
we have a hand stage right after the World 1 fortress.
And the item reward is shuffled as well.
Yes. We got a frog suit.
So each
That
time,
makes me very excited.
yeah, each time encountering a hand stage and this seed from now on, you'll receive a frog suit after completing it, instead of your standard leaf item.
Jveth, checking out the box game. We have the pyramid on Leslie Pro's side.
Yeah, one strategy you may see these players take early on is stocking up on lives and items.
Yes.
It's not a bad idea to go out of your way a bit to get items and level or items and 1-ups. Just to give yourself a bit of a buffer, a bit of breathing room.
Might see running headfirst into Hammer Bros.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to encounter, so it's always nice to have the extra hit if you can take it.
We have an end card game from Leslie. So even though those cards show flowers, Leslie did not get a flower from that. I believe it was a leaf.
Got a leaf.
Mm-hmm. And here we have a fortress that's probably from World 6, considering there's ice.
I believe so. That's a good assumption.
Yeah.
Jveth able to avoid that Fire Brother. Except a music box. Boom Booms still have your standard 3 hits. However, there's 2 types of Boom Booms. Standard jumping, and then there's the flying Boom Boom. And those are shuffled amongst the fortress enemies, I believe, as well. Right? Maybe?
I don't know
now. I don't want to say that and that'd be wrong.
We have Jveth heading into 1-6 and Leslie Pro heading into the second airship here, which I don't know the worlds of the airships.
So even though the airships are shuffled amongst each other, the Koopaling will always remain in its world position. So you'll always encounter Windy in World 3 and so on. Koopaling properties can be shuffled as well. See some Koopalings jump higher than normal or have the ability to stun Mario. Those properties are shuffled amongst Koopalings and it changes each time you generate a new seed.
And we have a takedown on both sides.
So Jveth is a world behind going into World 4. Or will be big little land. We had this problem. I had this problem last commentate.
Boy, it's time.
So we'll see where this first pipe leads.
It's 4. Looks like Leslie's gonna go back and take 7-1.
Right. So many pipes. So with overworld pipes being shuffled, so many pipes in World 7.
Did we just... Oh. Never mind, I mistake this for another level. We got a frog suit here, though.
There's some swimming in the stage.
Yeah, that was a good call on the frog suit. I mistaked it for another level.
Yeah,
from World 6, which was much worse to have in a frog suit.
Able to use it for a little bit, taking some damage though. Enemies are shuffled, making for some tricky combination here in the water stages, especially the bloopers, and Big Bertha, 2 different types of bloopers.
Evil.
And fire piranha plants in this stage, it makes for a tough combination of enemies.
And we're seeing a level I didn't remember seeing on Leslie's side, so I actually don't know if Jveth used that hammer that he got on the lock.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did. I'm sure he picked it up. He picked it up.
I remember picking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's going the normal way.
Maybe he used it.
Oh,
maybe he didn't pick it up. Or he must have used it in World 2. I
don't know.
Yeah, fortunately missed it. If chat knows, let us know. Meanwhile, Leslie decided to go back to the first pipe. Take this, go this way instead. A lot of route variation from World 7, just as we mentioned. With overworld pipes being shuffled, could be a long, winding path to the end of the area overworld here. And typically, the optimal strategy is to play as few levels as possible. It doesn't always work out that way.
Yeah. You just kind of gotta hope you guess the right one.
Exactly.
We have an angry sun in 1-1.
Ooh.
This is interesting.
Meanwhile, on Jveth's screen, got the Parabeetles stage. Normally an auto-scroller. Make quick work of it since it's been disabled.
Now it's attacking. Alright, we're through. We have
just able to avoid it.
The fortress, the World 1 fortress for Jveth. Now, I saw a coin chip on that screen.
Ooh. Just slipped off the platform there.
Another end game for Leslie. Doesn't get anything.
Now, some players like to take notes for the end card game. Hasn't been disallowed. I'm not sure if it is allowed. As of right now, players have that option. Jveth unfortunately takes another death.
Another boom boom for Leslie.
Jveth is rewarded with a hammer. Not playing the end card game.
Well,
it's an option. It's not required. I know a lot of players like to use it just because of the possibilities, but it does take some time to play it. And if you're not making matches, it's not helping really much.
Leslie didn't go to the item house. Kind of a disappointed. We're in the Piranha stage now. I don't believe the Piranha stage is randomized. Is it?
They may, if they are, they're shuffled between each other.
Okay.
But I don't know for sure. I'm gonna say they're not. The reward is shuffled.
That's true. The hand stages as well.
Yes, as far as reward, they are shuffled amongst the standard stage.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying the
Right.
reward.
Right.
And we have our first cloud. So clouds can be kind of weird in Rando because you don't know what a level is until you enter the level.
Right.
So you'll usually end up looking at a level before deciding, hey, I want to skip it. But at that point, you might be able to know if you can finish the stage or not.
Maybe towards the end of the run, if you see that you haven't used the cloud, players usually just use it just to use it.
Yeah, that's true.
Just regardless of what level it could.
I don't care how easy the level is, I can skip it.
Right, and I have this extra item, I may not get another chance to use it, might as well use it now. And Leslie took an intentional death, I'm guessing, at 7-8 to take the other option. Not an uncommon strategy.
Nearing the end of World 7, though, for Leslie, so that's pretty nice. Because World 7 can be grueling.
Yeah, definitely one of the longer worlds play through. Depending on the pipe layout, of course.
Of course. Just a simple 3-2.
Meanwhile, Jveth making his way through the pyramid. Avoiding the Firefly or Fire Bro. Ooh. Leslie Pro falls into the pit. Might use the cloud or hammer. Making decision.
Going for P-Wing.
P-Wing and...
Going for P-Wing and cloud.
Not a bad option. Was it not P... Oh, he overwrote the P-Wing by using the cloud.
Oh. Well, we made it to the Piranha stage, at least.
Yeah. One note about the cloud is if you die in the stage you cloud over, or you die after... In the next stage, say you cloud over in a stage, and then you die in that stage, you go back to the state in which... You go back to the position on the overworld map where you were before you clouded over.
Are Piranha stages checkpoints?
They are, yes. So if he had died, though,
yeah,
if he had died at the Piranha plant, he would have gone back before the fortress, played the fortress over.
But we're at least safe if we die from Ludwig, fortunately.
Yes.
Don't think we're going to be going to. There we go. That was an easy World 1 airship.
Nicely done. Meanwhile, Jveth in the World 2 airship, or yeah, we'll call it World 2, whatever.
Yeah, it's this airship. I'm gonna take a hunch and say it looks like an icy color, so World 6.
There you go. You could actually, I was gonna say you couldn't tell by that. Yeah, I was gonna say you could tell by the boss, but that's not true.
Nope. Speaking of World 6, it's our 4th world today. Where's the pipe lead?
Not where you want to be.
Pipe lead.
So even though hammers can break locks, they can build brute. So he's got to turn around and play World 6 from the beginning. It's a World 6 stage, World 6-5. I know this one. This one stands out since you have to fly up and pass these blocks to the upper area. Since enemies are shuffled, you may or may not need to take a Koopa up there with you, depending on which enemies are up there.
Yeah, well, sometimes the Fire Snake can be up there, as we've seen earlier this tournament, so... grabbing the steak ain't the worst idea, or the
Yeah, I mean it's good.
idea.
It's good practice so to take it up there with you because you don't know what can be up there. Able to get by it quickly though. Jveth making his way through World 7.
Leslie stacking a few items from the end card game, but not getting too much that's too useful.
Yeah, I think I counted 4 music boxes.
Oh my.
They have their use, but they're not the item you typically want to see.
That's how the music boxes make me feel. Nice and sleepy.
Leslie Pro making way through the maze, pipe maze stage. If you know the pattern, if you know where you're going, you can make quick work of it, but if you don't, then it's gonna be a lot of back and forth. Jveth making his way through the second fortress in World 3 normally. Underwater fortress.
Leslie's just throwing some music boxes.
Just dumping them all. Might as well.
We
Take
don't
up
need
inventory
those.
space. Well, if he knows he's
Not
gonna
many.
use them, if he knows he's gonna fight Hammer Brothers, then there's really no point in holding on to them. So you see Leslie Pro on the Navy stage, normally in World 8. These are shuffled in amongst the shuffled amongst the fortress stages.
Mm-hmm.
This one, the Air Force, and then the Super Tank, the second tank in World 8, are shuffled amongst the fortresses. However, the first tank you encounter in World 8 is shuffled among the standard stages. Since it doesn't end with a boom boom or breaking a lock, or unlocking a lock. Oh, that cheap gonna cause some problems potentially for Leslie Pro.
Mm-hmm. We did see a few attempts on the Koopa. We did see a few attempts on 7-1 clip from Jveth, but after a few tries, it's just gonna go through the stage normally.
Yeah, that can be pretty tricky. There's 2 ways to go about it. You can jump into the corner, or right above the corner, above the door, or you can crouch jump, duck jump through, and you'll just slide through the wall and head toward the end of the level. But there comes a point where it might be faster just to play through the stage normally. Oh, that cheap. Sorry about that. I called it.
Oops.
Not much you can do about that. Small Mario, cheap can just spawn without warning,
Without
really.
a care in the world.
Yep. I'm not sure which is worse in this stage for that spawn, either a cheap or the boss bass. I've only seen one of them so far in this seed. May not see the end of him. They both have a similar effect, but Boss Bass can take you down in one big gulp. Cheap at least gives you a fighting chance. Now there are some wall clips in this stage, Leslie Pro's on. They're a bit tricky. They do require you to duck jump and some precise timing. But if you're not familiar with it or don't know, aren't comfortable going for it, play the stage normally. You choose so. Yeah, because normally you have to break this bridge or build this bridge with using invisible blocks.
This stage is really weird.
A lot of backtracking, that's for sure. Compared to any other stage. Meanwhile, Jveth making his way through the fortress with many doors.
Nice little flower. Leslie Pro's bouncing around.
Yeah, especially for this stage. A lot of enemies on this stage.
Yeah. I'm so used to remembering this stage because it's the one with the spikes, and now the spikes just aren't here. The enemy shuffle messes you up.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things that may throw you off for each level, just because maybe used to jumping on an enemy in a certain place, not there anymore. See Leslie Pro taking the secret exit.
Yeah, you get an item out of it, I think.
You do. It's picked up a star there.
And the stars.
Very effective against Hammer Brother, especially shallow water Hammer Brothers, but Fire Flower, just as easy.
Stars, jeez.
Except, like we mentioned earlier, the items you receive, Hammer Brothers, are shuffled, so you never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes the sea can be very generous and give you a whole bunch of hammers or clouds. Sometimes you'll get others.
Yeah.
Jveth using a music box to bypass the Piranha Plant Overworld stage.
Now into that World 1 airship, about to finish up and head to our fourth world, which is World 6 that Leslie Pro's in right now.
Correct. The exit for the stage that Leslie Pro's in requires you to take a pipe at the top of the screen, meaning you have to pick up a item that lets you fly.
Just like the Tanuki suit we have right now.
Yeah, luckily there's...
heading into World 4.
Even though items are shuffled between items within stages are shuffled, there are set items, particularly the ones in the big question mark blocks, that will always remain the same. And then there are a few other items in a number of stages that remain static. That way, you should progress through the level.
Yep.
The same goes for a couple enemies. We saw it in the pyramid stage, the Buzzy Beetles. Those enemies are not shuffled, otherwise could get a spawn to where the level would not be able to be completed otherwise.
Yeah, there's what we call sanity checks in randomizers that you may recognize that term from any other randomizer.
Right.
That basically means there's checks in what generates a ROM to make sure the ROM's beatable.
Jveth fortunately took a death, but using a P-Wing to quickly navigate this flying section in order to get to the pipe at this stage.
Fortunately, losing the wing at the end.
Ooh. Luckily, there was a path for him to progress there.
You also had the angry son that Leslie didn't have a problem with. This is the second fortress in 5, I think. It's a kind of tricky fortress.
Yeah, there's some platform. These, you know what? There's these platforms. Then the Podoboos, fireballs. Yeah, these enemies, and then the Hotfoot just hanging out right in front of the pipe there.
But we're at Boom Boom.
Yeah, World 6 is the longest. And the longest of the worlds. Even if you get that first pipe that skips 3 stages, it's typically the longest just because even if you use a hammer, you're only going to be able to skip 1 stage, generally.
Yep.
A couple places use hammers, and if you use a hammer, try to use it for more than 1 stage. You can skip stages using clouds, but if you have a cloud, you may want to use it for a stage later on, so...
Oh, that's not normal. We're good, though. Leslie Pro's out of this world. Jveth used a hammer there.
Nice.
It ended up... Could have used it on the lock, it had the same effect. Just skipping a fortress. The puns in this and the text.
Yeah, we have the developer F. Coughlin, Fred, to thank for that.
Yes.
He also had some. I know he took submissions for those text boxes from community members. I think a few of them made it in so far. May still be open.
We have World 5 for our 5th world. Haha. Funny. Jveth's in that 1 stage.
Yeah, even though world order and stages are shuffled, we'll still see the... Ooh. Leslie Pro right there at the very end. Jumping Koopa. I was gonna say, even though world order and the stages are shuffled, we'll occasionally get a vanilla location for one or the other. Sometimes both.
It happens.
Just the way it works.
We've seen Zelda 1 races with Red Candle and 7, or, you know, Ladder and 4. It happened.
Exactly. Jveth using a Ewing for this stage. Meanwhile, Leslie Pro taking the sand to this lower area. It's about the same. It's only slightly slower to go taking the sand, but it's definitely safer, depending on your ability to jump on the music blocks and the layout of these piranha plants. Makes the big jump onto the exit. Leslie Pro has a choice here. Unfortunately, missed that mushroom. Looking for any power we can pick up easily would be nice. Yeah. Option between stage 3 here or the fortress. Opting for stage 3.
And it looks like the stage 3 of World 3.
Almost.
Ooh,
We've still not seen World 3 in our overworld.
correct.
Then World 8 is always the last world, so even after Leslie Pro gets out of this world, we still have to see Worlds 1 and 3.
And depending, no hammers, unfortunately. I'm gonna say there's potential to use hammers in all three of these worlds, worlds 5, 1, and 3 to skip some stages, but light on hammers this seed so far.
Especially in World 1, there's some hammer opportunity. You can skip 3 stages using a hammer.
Right. A very good place to use it. Even though stages are shuffled, this tower in World 5 has to be here. It grants you access. Yeah, it grants you access to the upper overworld part of World 5. The Womps remain in the same place, but the other enemies float around. Like that floating cheap sheep. Yeah, if Leslie Pro had a hammer, could use one to break this lock after reaching the upper part of the overworld, but gotta play the other three stages instead. Just picked up a cloud though, could skip a stage if given if the opportunity arises. It's a nice place to find a star. Grants you invulnerability. That Lakitu is raining down Spinies. Here's another lost level on Leslie Pro screen. An interesting note is for the lost levels, the enemies are static. You'll always encounter the same enemies each time you enter that same stage. And it's supposed to change here in a future update, but as for now, enemies remain the same. As we see Jveth entering another lost level.
Mm-hmm.
They're
I
typically
saw this one earlier, but didn't point it out. I actually didn't know this was a lost level.
Yeah, these lost levels, they're not the lost levels from the game itself. Just
no.
hidden levels, yeah, I'm just clarifying for the viewers.
Oh, right.
They're hidden stages in the game's code that are not accessible by any other means. But they've been added to the level pool in the randomizer. They're typically shorter. Some of them don't have enemies at all.
Mm-hmm. It looks like Leslie Pro's sitting in a boss bass 2-3.
May choose to take the other option.
Yeah, I don't know what they saw in 5-6 that made them choose this level over that. But it must not have been good. Jveth in that last fortress before the airship.
Still a world behind, but still a few worlds to play.
Mm-hmm. Anything can happen.
Exactly. On Leslie Pros, here's another. As that Koopa I was talking about. That Koopa is there to help progress. That Koopa is there to break the blocks to clear the way for the pipe. That Koopa will always be there, just so the player can complete the stage. Now we see Leslie Pro moving over on. Take the other option. I believe it's a shorter option. Able to get through it.
A completed option.
Exactly. Jveth fighting Lemmy. These bouncy balls. Ooh. This is can make for a tough fight, just given the layout. Able to complete it though.
He conquers it.
Yeah, normally Lemmy is on a flat arena. He just runs back and forth or bounces back and forth. However he travels on the ball. But with the elevation change in the arena, he gets stuck in. He'll get stuck in the ground, and you have to wait for him to peek out in order to do damage. Leslie Pro able to avoid those boos, taking the lower path in this fortress. But bombs falling from the sky, Goombas falling from the sky. No sun.
Wow. Ain't that a twist?
Leslie Pro has one stage remaining before the airship here in World 5.
Mm-hmm. And it's 3-8.
I think that mushroom is lost.
Yeah.
Got caught in the water.
Rest in peace.
No boss bass to deal with. You've seen that.
That's good.
Ooh. Was caught underneath that platform, but able to swim back up. Jveth using a P-Wing. Probably happy with that decision, given the stage. Just fly right over.
Mm-hmm. And here's our next airship.
Yeah, Leslie Pro also using a P-Wing. It's a nice one to use it on for that vertical obstacle there.
Mm-hmm.
Make
We have
quick work of this one.
fireworks. And that was a Roy.
A one-hit Roy.
Roy's our boy.
So we'll see which world Leslie Pro entering next. As Jveth continues to make his way through World 5, using Stage 3.
Alright, World 3 is our 6th world today on the overworld. We're gonna see if this pipe leads to the airship.
It looks like we don't have much of a World 3 today, folks.
A nice and easy World 3.
And by that, do you mean a nice and easy airship here?
Exactly. Since overworld pipes are shuffled, there is a chance that first pipe will lead you straight to the airship. Yeah, Windy. Earthquake, Windy.
Double hop, earthquake, Wendy. Wendy
Ooh.
is as mean as the rest of this World 3 is pretty nice. And I noticed the hammer in Leslie's inventory, so when we get to World 1, because that's going to be our next world, we may or may not see a skip on the first levels.
Given that it's the last, I think we will. But could opt to save it for World 8. It's always an option. Yeah, Leslie going for the fire kill, but with Earthquake, Stun ability, just it's not easy. And now couldn't do anything there, just stuck, not move at all.
Just blowing more music boxes.
Yep. P-Wing is a good choice here.
Absolutely. Especially when you have an Earthquake fight.
Right, you just fly. Though you still have to avoid the lifesaver, hula hoop.
That's true.
Rings, whatever you want to call them, but you still you have
wants to be tough.
Yeah, it gives you the chance to avoid this Earthquake Stun ability and
nice stomp.
Able to clear the airship. Moving on to World 1. World 7. Jveth making it to the upper part of World 5. Just a 1-up from Toadstool. Two clouds.
Hammer.
Using the hammer to bypass the first 3 stages. First 3 required stages. The other 2 are optional, regardless. Still has 2 clouds to use.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's only 2 opportunities to use them. Oh, Jveth, victim of Boss Bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty late in the run of me going for in-card game. Thought about it for a second, probably, and decided against it. Another lost level here. A series of pipes leading to an underground section. If you have a tail, you can go to the very last one in the upper section. Break a block, right there, the exit. Pretty short stage.
Mm-hmm. And now we're on to a Hammer Bro, blocking the way to our 7th and final airship.
Ooh, Jveth, that same Koopa that took down Leslie Pro.
Yeah. 2-4 is not nice with the enemies right now.
Jveth tries the other option, but gets hit by a sledgehammer.
Fun.
Chooses a P-Wing though, and just gonna fly over this upper section. Leslie Pro taking down, is that Larry? Gonna move on to World 8. Jveth able to make it through this stage. Moving on to the next fortress in World 5. Now World 8, this first stage, is normally a tank stage, is shuffled among the standard stages, so it can be anything. And we've got 8-1, which can be a really tough stage, as Leslie Pro takes a death. Fortunately, you cannot cloud over this. They'll pull you in as soon as you land on the tiles. You have to play them. That's the case for both tank stages, the Air Force, and the Navy stage here in World 8. Just able to make it over that gap. uses the music note block to clear the gap, and over the fire piranha plant, here's that stage. Now looking in, so entering this first pipe, players are looking either to go straight to the Bowser, or here this dark section. There's 4 pipes that can be easily accessed, and that's not what you want to see, leading to another pipe in the dark section behind a lock. He's gonna play the fortress. Could skip the fortress using the cloud. That's an option. Does not though. And after clearing this fortress, Leslie Pro will have the opportunity to go through 2 additional pipes, hoping one will lead to the last area of World 8 and onto Bowser. Picks up that fire flower and unfortunately loses it immediately. Able to grab another one though. 3 power-ups right there on that same screen. So that was not the way you wanted to go. I think Lori might be muted. Jveth clearing out the World 5 airship. Moving on to World 6. So World 3.
Yeah.
You're back.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Totally missed the tracking on Leslie Pro entering World 8.
In World 8, while Jveth is in World 6.
Yeah. I'm a little bit on the drowsy side currently, so please forgive me if I forget something.
No worry. Leslie Pro still looking for that exit, or the pipe leading to the final section of World 8. Jveth encountering Earthquake, Windy. This is the second fortress, World 2. No, the first fortress. Only fortress of World 2. here in World 8. Jveth able to take down Windy on the second try.
So now Jveth setting into
The World
the
7.
hand.
Oh, Leslie Pro.
No. Leslie Pro's heading into the hands. Jveth
Yes.
heading into World 7.
Correct. Which is World 1.
Oh,
He's got a hammer. He's got a hammer. He's gonna want to use it here. Yeah, unfortunately, just given the pipe layout in here on World 8, gotta go over the hand section. Nothing you can do about it. Sometimes it's just the way it is, and both players are gonna have to play it out this way, I believe.
Yep. And we're not seeing a hammer use from Jveth here. Which we did see one from Leslie Pro.
May not have one, given
I
items
saw one
picked
in
up.
the inventory.
Okay. Gotcha. May not know that hammers break locks.
No,
don't know.
It's a possibility.
Maybe.
Hadn't thought about that. I want to ask him. Leslie Pro able to skip one of the hand stages. Had to play 2 though.
Mm-hmm. Fortunately, there were 2 fairly easy ones.
Right. This should lead him to section. No, it's not. Does get a chance to use these clouds.
Yep.
That'll be it. That's the pipe wreck.
Nice. And we're headed to the ending. Just got this stage, which is this one.
The Air Force, right. Autoscroller has been disabled, which can make this stage a bit quicker if you know your platforming, but it can also be really difficult given some blind jumps. Some players opt to use a P-Wing just to fly over. It's a valid option as well.
Yep. Leslie's just going in with a trusty fire flower.
Taking out those rocky wrenches. Floating in the sky. Just Boom Boom remaining before heading on to Bowser.
Yep. There we go.
Yes, hammers can break locks, fortress locks. Randomizer is an option to choose from.
Yep.
It does not build bridges. Will not build your bridge.
Yeah, as we've mentioned, as Wolfman, another commentator for this tournament, has mentioned before,
Right.
we don't quite have the hammer of Fix-It Felix.
Leslie Pro able to get the clip through the wall there after revealing the invisible block. Just a couple more platforms before heading over into Bowser's chambers.
Yep. Here he is.
No fire flower or hammer, so gotta fight him the old-fashioned way. Using Bowser's hitbox to his advantage. Bowser's, go ahead.
Bowser's hitbox only exists in his head, so
Right.
if you're ducking or small, you won't get hit by Bowser himself here.
You still have to avoid the fireballs, but in the right position, pretty. Even though I still get hit every time.
It happens.
One more. Oh, yep. Oh no.
That's not
May have
great.
jumped up just a little early. There you go.
There we go. That's Bowser defeated.
Leslie Pro's gonna take the victory here.
Yep. Leslie Pro finishing first place. Official SRL time 1 hour 3 minutes 28 seconds.
GG. Jveth finishing up World 7. Moving on to World 8 after this. Leslie Pro will be joining us for an interview shortly. Let's see how Jveth traversed World 8. So you saw the anchor there, that Princess Toadstool. That is actually a random power-up. In the standard game, it's used to lock down airships. If you happen to die in an airship, it'll fly to a random location in the overworld, and it'll remain there. You'll have to backtrack in the overworld, go back and fight the airship. That's been disabled. Airships will not fly after if you die, having to die in an airship. Instead, the anchor will be a random item. Typically, it's been a frog suit, but it can be pretty much anything.
Yep.
Nice bounce off of that Koopa. And that Bullet Bill, wow. Able to... Ooh, fortunately took a hit, but able to use the enemies to his advantage there. Make it through that stage.
Here's I believe this is World 6 first fortress for Jveth.
Couldn't tell you.
That is what I think.
Okay.
We have Leslie Pro here. Hello.
Hey, good evening. Now,
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. That seed, whew! That seed had my heart going in places.
Yeah, pretty tough start. Just given the levels, the World 7 Fortress at the beginning, right?
Yeah, 7F2 right at the beginning. Like, the three-way race had a pretty tough start of their own, so I had a hunch I was not going to be given anything easy right out of the gate, and I happened to be right, because your second stage is 5-9, the diagonal auto-scroller.
Right, and that fire chomp to deal with as well.
Yeah, that fire chomp that followed me was the reason I died there. The platform despawned. And I'm sitting here just laughing at how basically what happened, because that's all I could do was laugh.
Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous.
8-bit sprite limitation, maybe? That'd be my guess.
Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yep. Not just for the players' entertainment, everybody else's entertainment, and sometimes at the players'
The audience's entertainment.
So this was your first match in the group stage, is that correct?
That is correct. I have been practicing seeds both on stream and off, just to get myself ready so I can get an idea of how basically expect anything to come at you. In fact, earlier today I did a seed offline without Randomizer so I could get an idea of where an enemy would spawn.
Oh, nice, okay.
Well, it seems to pay it off. You did very well today.
It did, and there are points where I thought I was beat, like where I got hung up in World 5 and opted to go to do another level instead. I thought I was done there. Then when I got to 8, I took the wrong route, and I'm like, that burned me, didn't it? Then I realized where it was. I had 2 clouds, and I skipped those levels back to back. Because I'm like, let's not waste time on this.
Yeah, that was a nice use of clouds there. I was a little surprised you hadn't used them yet entering World 8, but it paid off in the end.
If you thought your beginning game put you behind, like you struggled with that, Jveth's was possibly like double as unfortunate. There were a lot of deaths, and that gave you a really early, really good lead that seemed to persist for most of the race.
That was not something I was expecting at all, because my mentality through this was, well, you just gotta keep your composure through these, because you can have anything thrown at you, and if a level gives you a hard time, you just have to rally through it, or if there's another option, another route, go with it.
Definitely. There's been a number of matches, even earlier today, where It's just a rough start. Not many, no power ups. Some really tough levels early on, and can't really do much about it. Just gotta power through.
Yep. Saw that earlier in the 6 o'clock race.
Right. Do you speedrun Mario, or what's your experience with Mario just over the years, or Mario Brothers 3 and specifically?
Well, my experience with Mario 3 is that when I was 6 years old, I got a Nintendo Entertainment System for Christmas, and the first game that I got with it happened to be Super Mario Brothers 3. So this goes right to basically the beginning for me in terms of gaming. And that goes back... Jeez, I'd rather not think about how far back that goes, because that makes me feel old a bit.
Sure. No worries.
Yeah.
But basically, while I'm more familiar at the time for now with the Link to the Past and that scene, it was really SMB3 is where it all truly began.
Nice. So you could say you've been playing it for quite a while then.
Yeah, I mean, not consistently over those years, because there have been so many other games to play over those years, and it's just too many numerous great games to list.
Definitely. Yeah, the randomizer has definitely added new life to a game, which is really cool. It's we've seen that with a number of games recently with the randomizer, just games regaining popularity as a result of players playing a randomizer. This one included.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that. Shoutouts to Fred Coughlin, who designed this randomizer.
Definitely.
Coughlin definitely deserves a follow because he's designed this, as well as a couple of other randomizers that I've been familiar with.
Yeah, including the Zelda 1 randomizer. You saw Jveth there trying to take some intentional deaths in order to avoid playing the stage, having to backtrack through the hands. Unfortunately, just keeps getting pulled in. Able to finally get past it though. Hopefully, getting through this pipe, he'll be able to respawn on this side of it now. Had to die a few times to get past it though. Probably faster overall because it is one of those auto scrollers.
Yep.
Moving on to the numbered stages in World 8, and then eventually to Bowser.
So I only saw 2 of the hand levels. Was the other auto-scroller in that mix?
Yes, the center hand stage is the auto-scroller, the lost level auto-scroller.
Ugh.
Yeah, you were able to bypass that one.
Yeah. That's also why I intentionally took that death when 8 Fortress came up. I'm like, nope, I don't need to waste a minute on this stage.
Yeah, it's really interesting, the options you have, whether it's when it comes to using hammers or clouds, when given the opportunity, or some people will take a death in order to play a different stage. It's not a bad option.
Yeah, and that's also why I didn't go back and finish 6-6, because I tried that level, but just too much lag.
That was the one with the boss bass. No, I'm thinking of a different one.
That had the nanny bloopers that just lagged things up, and I happened to drop into it with a frog suit, so I decided, let's try it. Didn't work out, so I decided to veto.
Yeah, the underwater one with the bloopers and then the 5 fire piranha plants pipes. Jveth is on the Air Force right before Bowser's, or the Super Tank stage, right, which is the Air Force here, right before Bowser's Castle.
Saw that one earlier today as well, and I decided, let's just practice let's just practice so we can get to World 8, and that was one of the levels that I played through, and not being able to do that optimally without a P-Wing is tough, but thankfully I had Fire Flower for most of it. When Boom Boom gave me that hit when I thought I had the kill, I said, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, you were able to get through it really quickly, and then
at that
walked
point,
right into Boom Boom.
At that point, I just knew I had to flip the switch and basically take him out as you would any other Boom Boom. 1, 2, 3.
Jveth entering Bowser's Castle with the hammer suit. been holding that the whole time. Or for a while, at least.
Yeah, the way I did the Bowser kill, as long as I had played the game, I didn't know that Bowser could be killed that way until I started watching speedruns of the game.
With the hammer?
No, not with the hammer. I knew
Oh, crouching.
Crouching.
Yes.
And knowing that Bowser's face was only the hitbox. And there's some people that I've shown that to, they didn't know that either. So that discovery's definitely been paid forward.
Yes. Able to take advantage of that. There was that one jump though, right before the end, where he didn't jump where he probably thought he would.
I thought he was coming down for the last Bowser bomb. Shoutouts to Smash Brothers. And unfortunately, he decided to troll me and say, nope, I'm just going to land here, so I just had to quickly reset.
Right. Didn't affect the outcome, but this wasn't expected, I'm guessing. Jveth taking the lower path changes the position of the bricks here. Not able to get right up against Bowser to take on the fire hammer kill. Unfortunately, gets hit. He's got to fight him normally.
Ooh, that is unfortunate, because the one risk you do take with the crouch strat is that if you're too close to Bowser's face, you can get hit. And if you're small Mario, that can be a death.
Right. Should be 2 more jumps here. See if through this. Bowser's been defeated again.
Excellent, nicely done.
Finishes up with a 1 hour 16 minutes and 56 seconds.
Excellent, GG.
So have you scheduled your next match yet?
I haven't quite done that just yet, but I'll be looking to do so very soon.
Sure, there's still time. Couple weeks. Hoping to get the group stages completed by the end of the month.
Yep, end of the month, and that's what I'm shooting for. Sure, it took some time to get this race scheduled, but at the end, it was definitely worth it to get the first one out of the way.
Yeah, should be at least a bit more comfortable moving forward, right? Get those first match jitters out of the way.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it first match jitters, but just that wonder of what's going to happen with the first match.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As well as knowing that the first one is done, now we look to the next one.
Definitely. Alright, Jveth will be coming in for an interview. Any other thoughts, Leslie Pro? You're welcome to stay while we talk to him. Well,
yeah, sure. He's up in general at the moment. The only real gift of this seed was the Quick World 3. Everything else in this seed definitely had to fight for. It's like, basically you have to fight for every inch, and even when it looks like the game was giving you something, you had that 5-hit Earthquake Wendy nonsense to deal with.
That's always fun.
Yeah, but before I used the P-Wing, that life there, I got stun locked. There was absolutely nothing I could do. I was button mashing and everything. Nothing.
Good to know that happened to someone else, too.
Welcome, Jveth.
How you doing?
GG.
GG. I did not have a very good start to the seed. I don't know if you had the same issues I did.
Hell, I had the platform despawn on me in 5.9 because I let the fire chomp follow me.
Yeah, that happened to me for the first 6 minutes of the seed. I didn't even know that was a thing because I don't normally speedrun this.
Yeah, this isn't really my primary game, but I've watched others play it, and I figured I'd jump in for the tournament to see how well I could do, because this was the first game I played since I was a kid, so I figured, let's see what happens.
Like I said before, it was a really tough start, regardless of your familiarity. I mean, 2 really tough stages right off the bat is going to their way.
Yeah, I actually game overed in the Fortress for World 2, I think.
Yeah, that was
game over really early.
Besides that, just a tough start. How do you feel about it overall?
I'm really disappointed I didn't get the hammer kill on Bowser.
I didn't.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. It could be a bit tricky, just positioning. Taking the lower path changes the layout of that room a bit too.
Mm-hmm.
You're not able to run up to the lip in front of Bowser and just spam hammer, take him down.
Yeah, other than that, I didn't think the seed was actually that bad.
Not a lot of. No, I was gonna say not a lot of hammers. I want to skip a few stages using them, but you guys could probably explain. You guys explain it better.
Yeah, the early game I skipped the end spade in World 2 because I figured that's too far back. We'll just get it next time. And yeah, to start with 7F2 there, when you have 0 other options available, that was rough.
Mm-hmm.
I asked Leslie Pro this as well. Jveth, what's your experience with Super Mario Brothers 3?
It's one of the, like Leslie, it's one of the games that I grew up with as a kid, but I don't know the speedrun at all. I don't know how to do the 7-1 clip. I don't know most of the tricks. I just have to rely on, everything that I remember from a kid.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, that too, and I mean, I've practiced the 7-1 clip, I've tried to learn it, I just can't hit it yet. And when 7-6 came up, I didn't even have a chance to go for it, so it's like, you know what, whatever, just do the level.
Did you check the first pipe in all the worlds, like I did?
Yep, I did, and there's only one that paid off, but unfortunately it was a payoff that came with a bit of a caveat. And I didn't clear 7-1. That stage was the one that I was like, nope, let's not go that way and hope we don't have to go that way. Thankfully, it paid off. Because if that was the way to go, I was clouding over that level.
I don't think I had a cloud at that point, so I don't think I could have. I think I
didn't either.
Really used it in World 1.
Yeah, at that point I didn't have a cloud, so I had to basically just take the other pipe, play levels as I could, see where it took me. Later on, I did get a cloud, so it was in the back of my mind, but then found the right path, so I'm like, this is fine. Bit long getting there, though.
Right. Any other final thoughts? Lori, any questions? If you're still here. Alright, well, we have another... so this is, guys, your first match. We'll have 2 more to play in the group stage, so it's still pretty early on. So good luck in those matches moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you, GG, and good luck in your coming matches, Jveth.
Yep, GG to you too, and good luck to you as well.
Thank you.
We've got another match here tonight. Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer at 11 p.m. Eastern. We'll get should be here on, I believe it's here on Speed Gaming. Yes, it's going to be on Speed Gaming 4. So we've got that, and we've also got matches tomorrow and throughout the week. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to follow both of these runners here. Put on a good show. Thank you, Lori, for helping out with commentary. I'm Jveth, and hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.